What's up, y'all? Jay Sproul, movies, music, sports, and life. Am I loud enough for y'all? I hope so. The headphones gives me a little bit clearer audio most of the time, but sometimes I don't feel like putting them on, it makes me work on projecting my voice. You know, public speaking is something that most of us need to learn how to do, and it can be lucrative once you become good at it. I'm not gonna waste y'all time. I went way too long on my boys review, so I got to keep these things under 10 minutes. So let's get right into it. So right out the gate, you got Michael Ealy, aka Detective Carter, investigating a crime scene. Now, a cliche that's starting to become true, and y'all know I'm telling the truth. Whenever you're the lead detective and the people under you are saying, well, I can do this, I can do that, and they like, I got this. It's just like Detective Howard, rest in peace, from Power Book 3. It's always, I got this. That's how you know they dirty, because they don't want you to do anything. How you supposed to earn your paycheck if your boss always want to do all the little dirty details? That should let you know that you need to find a new police station to work at, because your boss is a crook. They get on campus, and one of the kids says, would you care to make a comment about what happened with the school shooter on my podcast? And this is all I got to say about this. Dude, this is so unrealistic. It's one thing for them to talk about, wouldn't it be cool if we were just students at Stansfield again? How did they get back in school, man? Like, how many deaths have to happen at a school before you start to put 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 together and say none of these deaths happened before Tariq St. Patrick came to school here, but since he's been here, there's been multiple deaths, and now we got one that he was 100% involved in, where he's acting like the hero. It's just so unrealistic to me that they can go to school. You know what I mean? But at any rate, they cut to a scene where Diana takes a pregnancy test, and then Effie is talking about that robotic stuff with Stanford again. And with Diana and the pregnancy, the only twist that they could give is if it's that pro-black dude that we don't like. What's the name? Salim. But come on, you know the only other person she slept with besides Salim is Tyreek. And how does it serve the story if it's Salim's baby? We haven't even seen Salim. So we know that she's probably going to be pregnant with his kid, and that's going to impact. I mean, we already know this is the last season, so what are they really going to do with that? I hate to admit it to y'all, but it kind of foreshadows that Diana is not going to make it. You know what I mean? It'd be different if we knew for sure that they were coming back with multiple seasons. But with this being the last season, they aren't going to let that play out. And I also have a slight feeling, unless something, I don't see them doing an Effie spinoff. Her wanting to go to school way out in Palo Alto, California. Stanford is not in LA. It's in Palo Alto, California. Her wanting to go away so far also kind of gives me like a little foreshadowing or prediction that she might not make it either. And I think it's good writing because it's giving you the sense of hopes and dreams for the future. But can either young lady actually have, that future? So this is real interesting. So Monet is doing physical therapy, and her sister is her nurse. And her sister made the comment, you wanted to be like me, talk like me, dress like me when we were growing up. That is a tribute to Latanya Blige DaCosta. That's her older sister. They look just alike. And Latanya, I think just up until recently, just up until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, she was Mary's manager like this whole time. And she's also a songwriter. One of Mary's most popular songs, I Can Love You, with feature Little Kim, when they sample that notorious Kim beat. Yeah, Latanya wrote that song. Latanya wrote that song. So it's kind of cool that she. I kind of had to look it up to make sure it wasn't her sister, but then I thought about it. and said, well, they look so much alike in the face, you would have saw it. But I think her sister taking care of her was her little nod. So Mary J, I appreciate that you did that. Um, then, oh, B, come here. So she sounded so sweet when she asked him to come here. And then Noma goes from sounding so sweet with that pretty British accent to, do you think whoever got you those green cards might have your loyalty over mine? You know, and she caught him red handed, but of course, all she can do is speculate. She can't come out and prove, you know what I'm saying, who he got the green cards from and if that's the person he's more loyal to. But you could see it all over his face. Norma is one smart cookie. Um, Let me see. Oh, so now we get into the living room. She still wants to know who shot her. And it's kind of, I don't know. I maybe y'all agree with me. I kind of think this is bad writing. Why are your kids the only people you asking who shot me? Like, you supposed to be this queen pin. You don't got no other ears on the street other than your kids. And don't you think if your kids can't come up with no answers, there's only two outcomes, two possibilities, two variations of reality that could be taking place. One is either they are incompetent at this street stuff in terms of finding stuff out, or two, they're the ones who did it. Like, to me, it's just unrealistic because she said it's taking too long. It's taking too long for y'all to find out. It's kind of like, man, you need to stop asking so many questions and you need to do something else to figure out what's going on because you are a criminal and you raise your kids to be criminals. You should have some type of instinct that your kids are doing something criminal, aka covering up a murder attempt. But that's just me. Y'all might not see it the way I see it. And then she almost passes out. So that's foreshadowing that she's doing too much. She's not healthy enough to do the type of stuff she's trying to do. So go back to class. Brashandria is the first to speak, aka light skinned Keisha. You know, light skinned Keisha is darker than me, but she light skinned Keisha. She once gave the explanation that dark skinned Keisha from Belly is why she called herself light skinned Keisha, but I don't like the name. Defeat is the best motivator. So they always have Brashandria speak first, but they always have Tyreek say the smartest thing in the room. And he said defeat is the best motivator. I can agree with that. Losing is not fun. Davis is still temporarily suspended. That's going to come back. I personally think that the longer Davis can practice law, the shorter his amount of time on power is. Because let's just face it, he's a lawyer. He's not really a street dude like that. Unless he joins one of these drug selling operations, Davis is here to be the dirty lawyer. And if we are going to go through a whole season of him just smashing a different broad every week, I mean, we could do without him. I mean, they doing a bad job with Method Man to me in this final season, because he's always been so interesting. But it's kind of like you're handcuffing him. You're putting his hands behind his back. He can't do nothing if you're not giving him scenes that mean anything. Um, Michael Ealy comes to visit him, but at least he's standing on his business that he's not gonna give Tyreek up. Michael Ealy, Detective Carter, lets him know, you give me Tyreek, I can get you back into law practice. And Davis wasn't going for it. Effie meets with Diana, lets her know, hey, we need to move more product for Noma or she's gonna kill us. And that's always an issue. Noma has this thing of disbelief this season. Y'all notice? And I think you need to go back to cutting off hands with wedding rings on it. You know, that's what you did the first time we ever met you. But obviously people don't think you that gangster no more. You know, Obi asking you if he can get some, if y'all can become bad partners and drug and king pin together, and you know, you slap him in the face. You look shocked that that Davis wouldn't take your proposition. Later on, she looks shocked when Mary J runs up on her with the gun. Like, you should be at home. Like, she just can't believe that anybody is testing her anymore. It's like, well, you better get used to it unless you start demonstrating. You know, that's kind of how the streets work. If the streets know you got a reputation, eventually somebody got to test the reputation, and they keep testing the reputation and seeing that you're not doing nothing. People gonna become more bold. So Michael Ealy rides down on Tyreek at his school job. He said, you smell just like him. Talking about his dad. You know that you hate somebody if you say that they smell like somebody. And he gives him the heads up that they're about to take your mom out of witness protection. And he says that would keep me up at night. And you know Tyreek is a mama's boy. You know he gonna run and tell his mama what he found out from him as soon as he does it. And then he goes to the grocery store, you know, which is dumb. And, you know, Tasha, of course she tell him that she love him, but it's always get out of here. You know, I'm kind of tired of that too. I wish they would do something else with Tasha other than Tasha telling Tyreek, I love you, and get out of here. It seems like that's all that ever happens with them anymore. So we know Diana's pregnant. Drew can't believe that Monet is justifying what she did instead of saying sorry. And then she overhears their conversation. And I just say, it's bad writing on both ends. If she overheard the conversation, still, how are you not putting two and two together that Drew and Diana set you up to be shot? And then B, why are y'all talking so loud and she's right in the next room? Man, whatever. So last couple scenes, you know, they get back with the Russians, but you know, that's just cliche stuff. That wasn't that interesting. Reek stealing his car back from 2-Bit was funny, but I'm also ready for 2-Bit to be done. They're not doing anything with 2-Bit. Just let it go, you know, like, let Tyreek shoot him by now. I mean, my goodness. And then finally, Monet tells Tyreek to get in the car. She's always telling him to get in the car. And he pretty much gives up the fact that Tommy Egan's mother put her up on the fact that that Tasha was in witness protection. And now you think that Monet might go after Tommy's mother. And they just ended the show right there. But just one other quick thing I felt was funny. And they say part of the reason why they're getting rid of Power Book 2 is because it's becoming more expensive for them to do it. Dude, a regular cream-colored Louis Vuitton jacket, suede for women, with no logo on it, no name branded anywhere on it, is $10,000. So if a regular cream suede Louis Vuitton jacket for women is $10,000, how much do you think a mint colored, light green mint with all kind of Louis logos on it, suede jacket that Mary J. Blige had on, how much do you think that runs? If a regular cream one is 10 racks, you know that jacket was $25,000 or better. So that's what your problem is. You spending a quarter, of $100,000 on jackets on these people on this show. But that's it. Let me know what you thought of the episode, and I will see y'all next week. Salute.